What's going on, everybody? This is Mattdoesfitness, and women only call me ugly until they find out how much money I make. Then they call me ugly and poor. Hello and welcome to another video, and today I'm talking about fixing my squat. Now, to kind of give you a kind of brief overview, I started using a low bar squat like 6 months or so ago, and my squat literally took off. Like, I went from like a 400 pound-ish squat up to like a 550 pound squat in a very short period of time. However, because my squat was increasing so quickly, I kind of completely neglected my technique. I just did what I was doing naturally, and I didn't want to change it because the weight was going up so quickly. However, I did and I do have fundamental errors in my technique, and I was essentially waiting for a time when I plateaued to correct those changes, those errors. And now that I feel like I have started to plateau, if you watched my videos last week, obviously I missed a squat PR and it was a pretty poor attempt, and the last month in general of squatting, if you watch my videos, hasn't been great. So I feel like now is a time to change. Now, although the British champs are in 2 months, which is not obviously an ideal time frame, I've thought about it a lot, and I'm going to change it because I don't want to spend 2 months just reinforcing bad technique. I think I'll find it really hard to train my squats knowing that I'm going to change my technique at the end of that period. And plus, when I changed the low bar, I did that about something like 5 weeks out from a competition, and everyone said, oh, it's a bit risky, but I ended up getting used to it fairly within about 2 or 3 weeks, and then I ended up doing a massive PR at the competition. So I'm pretty confident that within 2 months I can get my head around the new technique, and I can go out there and PR. So that is the plan. Now, what I thought I'd do, rather than just talk about it, is show you some clips of what I have been doing, the flaws that I have, and how I'm planning to change that. So sit back and enjoy. Okay, let's get technical. So obviously I changed to a low bar squat a while back. However, I am technically squatting with high bar technique, just a low bar position. So that's the first thing I need to change. I need to stop sitting forward so much. I need to stop trying to keep my torso so upright, because obviously I'm not really utilizing a low bar position. What I need to be doing is sitting further back, not letting my knees travel so far forwards, obviously breaking from the hips initially, and basically utilizing my posterior chain, which is what obviously I'm not doing right now. If you looked at my squat without the bar, you'd think I was a high bar squatter. The other main issue I have, and this is probably the more important, is that my knees cave in. Now, you couldn't see it so much there. That was my penultimate single before I went for my PR last week. Here is the PR attempt. So this is 562 pounds. And if you watch my knees, you'll see the second I start to struggle, and this happens every time from 95% up, my knees, look at that, travel right inwards. And you'll see it a lot more here on the slow-mo. Watch the second I start to grind, and this happens all the time. Watch my knees, particularly my left knee. Look at the cave. That's ridiculous. Like, that is preposterous. There's no way that is an efficient way to squat. So I've decided, as of now, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to start with a much wider foot position. I'm going to keep my knees out. I'm not going to let my knees cave in when I get tired. I'm basically going to squat low bar how it should be done. Now, I've been looking at a lot of the footage from the IPF worlds and a lot of just top elite powerlifters, and I haven't seen anyone really or many people that squat with as narrow a stance as me. So there must be something to that. So what I'm going to do, you see here, I'm going to squat with a traditional low bar form. So here, I'm just testing out. I've never done this before. This was obviously after my PR attempt, so I was pretty drained, but I was annoyed, so I wanted to give it a go. And obviously it felt uncomfortable, but I can definitely see how it will be more stable. Now, you see there's no knee cave whatsoever. My knees are really wide. I'm kind of pointing my toes slightly more outwards, and obviously the other big thing I'm doing is that I'm breaking from the hip. So the second I initiate the squat, instead of bending my knees, I'm sticking my bum back and letting my kind of torso lean forwards a bit to obviously counteract that. And although it is uncomfortable, it doesn't feel natural at the moment, I can definitely see how it's more efficient now. I know that a lot of you, and I'm the same, are kind of thinking that, this is cutting it for quite fine. The British champs are 2 months away. However, if you look back to when I first changed to low bar, that was obviously a big change from high to low bar. and that was close. That was like 5 weeks out from my competition, and I picked it up really quick, and I ended up smashing a PR at the competition, a massive PR. So I am confident I can do this, and I'm going to go for it because I don't want to waste any more time squatting incorrectly. Now you see here, again, it's not massively heavy, it's 4 plates, but you can see enough, in my opinion, to see it's a much more efficient squat. My knees are staying out the whole time. It is, like I said, it resembles a traditional low bar squat far more. So the plan is basically just to stick with that. Now, obviously, all we're doing here is experimenting with that kind of position and with that technique. Just did loads of various sets and reps at different weights. But yeah, that is very much what I'm going to do. I've got, like I said, 2 months, so I'm going to basically run one big training cycle. I'm not planning on testing. I might go heavy just to get familiar with, with lifting heavy with this technique. But the basic plan is just to drop the weight down and just get used to doing volume work. Now, I think that there are many pros to this. First things, obviously, is my technique will be more efficient. In the long run, it will definitely help me squat more, bigger numbers. Plus, it's going to make, even now thinking about it, it's more exciting. Like, if I was to go back to a training cycle now and drop the weight down with my existing technique, I wouldn't have the motivation, the excitement factor there. Because this is it's essentially a new technique, a new lift. It makes it exciting. I'll technically be doing PRs all the time because it's PRs with, with a new lift. And it means that when I'm lifting lighter and doing volume work, it just, I don't know, for me it will seem like it's contributing towards something as opposed to using my old technique, which would have felt like a bit of a waste of time. You can see here I'm really testing out sitting, getting my torso right far forwards, sticking my bum right back, but it did feel quite good. I could definitely feel a lot more in my glutes, in my hamstrings. There's obviously a lot more posterior chain work, so I think it's going to carry over to my deadlift as well. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe as always, and I will see you tomorrow.